good, yo? We back. It's RTTV Extra with another reaction. If it's your first time in, I promise you that won't be your last. So make sure you kill, murder, and smash that subscribe button. And guys, we are back with another reaction. How American police compare to police in Europe. Let's see the difference. Let's get right into it and make sure you like it up.
We've all seen the headlines, the viral videos, the heated debates. American police, a force of good or a force of fear? As we delve deeper into the world of law enforcement, we'll uncover surprising
I want to see the difference
between the US
though.
and Europe that might just change your perspective. Militarization, a unique American phenomenon. One of the most striking differences between American and European police forces is the level of militarization. In the US, many police departments, even in smaller towns, have access to military-grade equipment like armored vehicles,
I didn't know that.
rifles, and drones, largely due to federal grants and a post-9/11.
Why the hell do police officers in the U.S. have that?
Militarization has sparked concerns about excessive force and damaged relations between.
They're like they're going to war.
Particularly in marginalized areas. In contrast, European police forces generally adopt a more restrained approach. While some countries like France or Spain have specialized counterterrorism units, most European officers are equipped with less aggressive tools and focus on de-escalation, community policing, and non-lethal tactics. Training duration, a marathon versus a sprint. One of the most striking differences between U.S. and European
Oh
police
my
forces
God!
is the length and depth of police training. In the United States, becoming a police officer often involves anywhere between 18 to 30 weeks of training at a police academy. This training is largely focused on physical fitness, firearms proficiency, and basic law enforcement tactics. While it's intense, it pales in comparison to the training that officers in many European countries undergo. In Europe, police officers typically train for much longer periods, often between 2 and 3 years before they're fully ready to hit the streets.
That makes
For
sense.
example, in Germany, police recruits undergo approximately 3 years of rigorous training.
3 years of
which
training?
includes everything from law to psychology and conflict de-escalation.
That makes a lot of sense. In the U.S., we only have 6 months. They have 2 to 3 years. That's way better.
Period, which includes comprehensive classroom instruction, on-the-job training, and ongoing assessments. This longer, more intensive training in Europe ensures that officers are better equipped to handle the complex nature of law enforcement, especially when it comes to understanding legal frameworks, dealing with mental health issues, and managing high-stress situations without the immediate use of force. Police accountability, transparency, and oversight. Police accountability is a hot topic in both the U.S. and Europe, but the systems for ensuring it are quite different. In the U.S., there are often calls for police reform and greater oversight, especially following controversial incidents of police misconduct. While there are mechanisms for accountability, such as body cameras, civilian oversight boards, and internal investigations, the process is often seen as opaque and lacking in consistent results. In Europe, however, many countries have more robust oversight systems in place, particularly when it comes to police conduct. For example, in the UK, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, IOPC, is an independent body that investigates complaints against the police and ensures transparency in the system. In Norway, public trust in law enforcement is bolstered by independent review processes that allow citizens to file complaints and hold officers accountable for misconduct.
That's fire.
Moreover, in countries like Sweden and the Netherlands, police misconduct is treated with the utmost seriousness, and officers found guilty of abuse or corruption are often
So there's no
swiftly
blue
held
code
accountable
in Europe.
through internal or external investigations, ensuring greater public
Citizens
trust.
have a better shot of fighting crooked cops.
The role of technology,
That's
surveillance
dope.
versus privacy. In recent years, both U.S. and European police forces have begun utilizing advanced technology to aid in law enforcement.
Ooh, let's see the
However,
tech.
There's a stark difference in how technology is used and regulated.
Let's
In
see.
the U.S., surveillance tools such as facial recognition technology, drones, and predictive policing algorithms are being employed by law enforcement.
Yeah, we got
agencies,
drones and face
sometimes with no
recognition.
regulation or oversight. This has raised concerns about privacy rights, particularly in light of incidents where these technologies have been used disproportionately against minority communities. On the other hand, in Europe, the use of surveillance technology is subject to strict data protection laws, such as the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. European countries are much more cautious about the collection and use of personal data, and any surveillance activities are heavily scrutinized for their legality and necessity.
Wow.
The European Union has set high standards for police use of technology, often prioritizing individual privacy and freedoms over the unchecked expansion of surveillance tools. Policing and mental health. A major difference in approach. Policing in the U.S. often places a heavy burden on officers to handle a wide range of situations, including mental health crises.
Yep, and they're not trained for that.
A lack of proper training or resources can result in tragic outcomes, with police responding
Miscommunication.
to mental health-related incidents with force instead of care.
Yeah.
In the U.S., over 1 in 5 fatal police shootings involve individuals with mental health issues.
Oh my God.
In Europe, however, mental health training is often integrated into police education.
They have 2 to 3 years. That makes all the sense.
The Netherlands have implemented specialized training and units to deal with mental health emergencies in a way that emphasizes care and understanding
Clearly.
rather than punitive measures. In Finland, for example, officers are trained to recognize signs of mental distress and are equipped to handle situations calmly and effectively, often working in tandem with healthcare professionals to avoid violent escalation. Moreover, several European countries have separate mental health response teams that operate alongside the police.
That's fire.
Individuals
That's actually
experiencing
caring
crisis
about your
receive
citizens.
the appropriate care rather than being incarcerated or subjected to force. Civilian oversight, a patchwork system in the U.S. Civilian oversight of police is a crucial check on power, but its implementation varies widely across the U.S. Some states have robust civilian review boards with investigative and disciplinary authority, while others rely on internal affairs units within police departments. This patchwork system can lead to inconsistencies in accountability. In Europe, civilian oversight is often more centralized and standardized. Independent police complaints, commissions, or inspectorates have the power to investigate misconduct, recommend disciplinary action, and even refer cases to prosecutors.
Police are hold way more accountable.
Community versus authority. Another key difference between U.S. and European police forces is their overall relationship with the public. In the U.S., policing often has an authoritarian undertone. The term us versus them is a common sentiment, where officers view themselves as protectors of the public, often positioning themselves
Above,
above
citizens and thinking they're the
Can
boss.
sometimes lead to a more confrontational approach in interactions with the public. In contrast, European policing tends to have a more community-oriented approach. The philosophy of policing by consent is central to many European nations, particularly in the UK. British police, for example, pride themselves on not carrying firearms and often emphasize their role as part of the community.
That's dope. They don't hold guns.
The idea is to build trust with citizens through transparency, respect, and communication. This approach fosters a sense
They
of
want to be
collaboration,
part of the community
where
while
police
one wants to
officers are
control
seen
the
as
community.
problem solvers, rather than enforcers of law and order. The difference in police culture often extends to how police officers engage with protests, public gatherings, and civil disobedience. In the U.S., large-scale protests have sometimes led to violent clashes with law enforcement, with police using riot gear, tear gas, and rubber bullets to disperse crowds. On the other hand, European police forces are more likely to use dialogue, negotiation, and a gradual response to maintain order in similar situations. In countries like the Netherlands and Spain, for example, public protests are often managed by officers who engage in conversation with protest leaders to prevent violence before it escalates. Public perception and trust. Finally, the public perception of the police is shaped by the differences in their training, tactics, and oversight. In the U.S., trust in police is a complex and often contentious issue. Incidents of police violence, particularly against Black Americans, have eroded public confidence in law enforcement, especially in communities of color. Movements like Black Lives Matter have highlighted the need
Oh
for
my
police reform,
God.
including changes to how officers are trained, how they interact with the public, and how accountability is handled. However, some communities in the U.S. still have a high level of trust in their local police, and efforts to improve police-community relations continue across the country. In Europe, public trust in police tends to be higher on average. While there are certainly instances of unrest or dissatisfaction with law enforcement, particularly in countries like France and Spain, where protests against police violence have occurred, the overall perception of police is generally more positive. This is largely due to the emphasis on community engagement, lower levels of militarization, and more robust accountability mechanisms. However, European police are not without their own challenges, particularly when it comes to issues like immigration, police brutality, and protests. While both American and European police forces aim to maintain public safety, their approaches to policing, use of force,
It's so
community
different.
engagement, and accountability differ significantly. American police forces tend to be more heavily armed, more focused on immediate law enforcement, and face greater challenges related to accountability. European police forces, on the other hand, often have longer training periods, emphasize community engagement and de-escalation, and generally have stronger oversight mechanisms. Understanding these differences is crucial not only for comparing policing strategies, but also for ongoing discussions about the future of law enforcement in both regions. Enjoyed the video? Give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and don't forget to...
Wow. What a video. What a video. US, American police compared to Europe police. Completely different. From the simple fact of the military styles. I learned stuff about American police I didn't even know. I did not know that the average American cop police station has the military equipment, from the guns to the surveillance technology to even the armored trucks. I did not know police officers, and now thinking when they do send in the SWAT, they do come into like this stop like protests. They come with the craziest riot gear, and I'm thinking back and sitting back, and I'm like, yo, all the tax money goes to that, so that makes sense why they're so highly equipped. And the difference is with European police, they don't have that military equipment. So already off rip, I can see that the aggressiveness, like I won't be as intimidated from a European police officer than I would a cop. The European police officers don't have guns. Cops have guns. They don't even have guns. And then not only that, the technology, from the drones to the surveillance in Europe, you guys respect people's privacy. The police department actually want to control the amount of technology the police department gets. Like that is dope. I feel like they really mastered policing. Because you gotta think about it, they have 2 to 3 years of training before you even get in the field. In America, it takes you 6 months to become a cop. That is like, seeing the difference of that is crazy. And then not only that, you in the 2-3 years, they get the mental health training so that they can see the signs if someone has a mental health issue, compared to a police officer here who doesn't. And 1 out of 5 police physical attacks in America has to do with a mental patient. That means we wouldn't even have to get as physically violent with, and could just de-escalate a lot of situations without any violence if there was proper training for the mental health. So I do give Europe a lot of respect for that. One thing I would say though is I would not want to be a European cop though. I feel like they're not protected though. Like realistically, they could get messed up. Because a lot of the videos I seen, yo, they could get violated, but I get it. The culture they created, people trust them, and not only that, they want to be part of the community. Where American police wanna be authority, they wanna control the community, while one wants to be part of the community. So the difference is remarkable. And me being a black man in America, I know the differences, and I know how they're good cops and they are also bad cops in America. So this video is so eye-opening, and I love this video. I love these videos, guys. So keep commenting below saying, yo, Rob, check out this video from this country, from Europe. Like I said, guys, it's the road to the World Cup. I want to learn so much about all these countries, all these different cultures. I've been covering all these teams for so long, for 2 years now. So I need to know about these countries, and we're traveling. So make sure you take this travel with me, lock in, and comment below, yo, Rob, comment this video, learn from this, learn that. There's so much. I'm gonna travel all year long. It's an international trip for me, so keep it locked. It's your boy Rob City RT, and that settles it at the round table.
Jamal,
Yamal kicks it. Barcelona goal.
Yamal to Rafinha. Rafinha with another goal, bro.
Oh my God.
Well, and we
Oh, another goal.